You know that version of yourself you want to be? The one who gets up early, crushes their goals, and is just building an amazing life? Well, every single day we face this powerful enemy that tries to sabotage all of it, our own feelings. And in this explainer, we're going to talk about how to win that battle. So let's just get right to it with a question. When that alarm goes off, or it's time to go to the gym or sit down and do the hard work, who's really calling the shots? Is it that ambitious person who set the goal? Or is it that little voice in your head that just says, maybe tomorrow? Seriously, who is in your driver's seat? You know, we're told all the time to follow your heart or do what feels right. But what if that's just terrible advice? The hard truth is that our feelings are really fickle. They're like the weather. They're always changing. And if you let them steer your life, they can lead you right off a cliff. Okay, so let's just call this what it is, the feelings trap. We're going to break down exactly why letting your emotions run the show is a really flawed strategy for building the life you say you want. The great Jim Rohn tells this perfect story about this. He made a really simple plan. I'm going to read every single night to expand my mind. Simple enough, right? But on day one, what do you think happened? He didn't feel like it. You know that feeling? The TV's calling your name. The couch looks so comfortable. His feelings were just screaming for the easy path. Sound familiar?
And see, this is the fundamental conflict right here. Your feelings will always vote for what's easy in the moment. Comfort, a little ease, some instant gratification. But your plan, the one you made with a clear head, it wants something totally different. It wants growth, it wants progress, it wants a better future. These two are almost always at war with each other.
And here's the most crucial point. If your actions are dictated by how you feel from moment to moment, your life has no solid foundation. It's like you're building your future on quicksand. One day you're motivated, the next you're totally overwhelmed. It's just a completely unstable way to build anything meaningful. So what happens when we live on that quicksand? Well, it's not just about being inconsistent. There's a real, tangible cost to letting your feelings win. Let's talk about the price of regret. So every single time you quit something because you don't feel like it, you have to pay what the source material calls the restart penalty. You lose time, you lose energy, and maybe worst of all, you lose all your momentum. Just think about all the diets or the projects or skills you've started and then stopped. That penalty, it really adds up over time. Let's just look at the simple math here. If you stick to a plan of reading just a little bit each day, you could easily get through 50 books in a year. Easy. But if you only read when you feel inspired, maybe you get through 20. The massive gap between those two numbers is the real-world result of consistency versus inconsistency. And that gap, it exists in every single area of your life. This quote just says it all, doesn't it? The discomfort of doing what you planned. That little bit of discipline, it's a small, temporary weight. It weighs ounces. But the feeling of looking back years from now at who you could have been, what you could have accomplished, that regret, that is a crushing weight that weighs tons, and it can last a lifetime. And here's a quick dose of reality for you. The world, your job, your health, your bank account, it doesn't reward your feelings. It only rewards results. Your boss, your customers, heck, even your own body. They don't care that you weren't motivated. They only respond to consistent action and follow through. Okay, so how do we fix this whole mess? It's not about trying to eliminate your feelings. It's about adopting a totally different way of thinking. It's about developing the professional's mindset. This right here is the key distinction. The amateur, they wait for the feeling of inspiration before they start working. The professional, though, they know a secret. Action often creates motivation. They just show up and do the work whether they feel like it or not. And you know what? More often than not, the inspiration follows. Here is such a powerful way to think about this. Your feelings are not the enemy, but they are not the driver of your car. They're passengers. They can give you useful information, like a little dashboard light telling you, hey, you're tired, but they absolutely do not get to grab the steering wheel. And every single time you follow your plan instead of your feeling, you're doing something incredibly important. You're making a deposit in your bank of self-trust. You're proving to yourself that you are reliable. But when you break that promise, you make a withdrawal. And if that account gets too low, you just stop believing you can achieve anything at all. Okay, this all sounds great in theory, but how do we actually do it, right?
Let's get really practical here and talk about how to build the muscle of discipline.
So, first things first, we have to understand the difference between motivation and discipline. Motivation is a feeling. It's awesome when it shows up, but let's be honest, it's a flaky friend. You cannot build a life depending on something that unreliable. Discipline, on the other hand, that is not a feeling. It's a system. It's a conscious decision that you make, and then you follow it with action, regardless of how you feel. It doesn't require excitement or inspiration, only a commitment. And you build it just like a muscle. You don't walk into the gym on day one and try to bench press a car, right? You start small, make one tiny promise to yourself, something almost laughably easy, like making your bed every morning. Then keep it for 30 days straight. See, you're not just making your bed, you're building evidence that you are someone who does what they say they'll do. And once that's solid, you just add another small promise. And you can support this new discipline with other powerful habits. Focus on winning the first hour of your day. Intentionally design your environment for success. Use the evidence of your small wins to literally change your identity into someone who follows through. And hey, find someone who will hold you accountable. It works. But look, this isn't just about productivity or checking things off a to-do list. The ultimate payoff for all this work is something so much deeper. It's about achieving real freedom, the freedom of self-control. Most of us think freedom is just doing whatever we feel like, whenever we feel like it. No rules, no commitments, just following our every impulse. But that's a trap. Because being a slave to your every whim, every mood, every fleeting feeling, that isn't freedom at all. Real freedom is having the self-control to choose your long-term values over a temporary emotion. It's the power to actually build the life you truly want, not the life your feelings want for you today. So, we're right back where we started. After everything we've talked about, the trap, the regret, the power of a plan, the choice is always yours. Every single day, every single moment, you get to answer this one question. So, who's driving?